There we go. Oh my god, it's finally over. I never want to touch brakes again. What is going on, guys? Welcome back. So today we are going to be working on the EP3 again. I'm in my crappy overall clothes, so that means we're going to be getting a little bit dirty. And the mod that we're going to be doing today is hell braided brake lines. So why change to braided brake lines? The original ones are rubber, and when they get used they can expand when the pressure of the brake fluid goes into them, and over a long period of time they can like bulge, and they feel a lot better once you change to something that can't flex. Obviously over time as well, rubber deteriorates while these don't, so it's time to change those over. So what I'll do is I'll start on the backs first. What you need to do is crack the nuts off the wheel, lift the car up, take the wheel off, and then we can tackle it from there. So I'm an idiot, and after realising just before I was about to get started is you should probably do the fronts first, because when you're bleeding the brakes you need to start from the furthest point of the master cylinder as possible, which is the back left if you're sitting inside the car. So if I did it like this, I'd have to take these off and then jack the car down, do the fronts, jack the car down, then go back up into the rear, bleed it, and then do the fronts again, which is long. So I'm gonna have to put the wheels back on, not super tight, just normal, lower the car, pick the front up, work on the fronts, and then do the backs, and then yeah, bit long. So I just wanted to pause the video here to kind of explain what exactly was going on. So I did start off in the top right hand corner, the top right wheel, but then what happened was all of the fluid ended up coming out and it drained the system, and I got really annoyed and didn't record any of it. Then my uncle came along and decided to help me with the remaining ones, and then I told him that I needed to record the last one, so I wasn't able to actually speak over it, as he was kind of like standing there watching what I was doing. So now I'm just going to go over what exactly you need to do in order to do this yourself, and it's the same on every single brake line, so there's no differences with that. So the first thing you need to do is grab on this little bolt up here. The reason I'm using vice grips is purely based on the elements getting to it. It's really rusted. I think it's actually an 11mm. So if you're able to turn it with an 11mm, you can go ahead and do that, but as you can see there, it's really difficult to unscrew. But yeah, you just need to unscrew it ever so slightly, just to get it free and relieve a little bit of the pressure. So the next bit here is the bracket that kind of keeps the brake line from touching the wheel or moving. Again, this was really rusted, and I had to use one of those, the bar, to kind of break it off, and that's me just pulling out there. And finally you have the actual brake, the feed going in there, so you just have to crack that. I believe that's also an 11 or 12mm, and then you just have to unscrew that there. So the bolt has two washers, one at the top and one at the bottom, so you just have to take those off. Mine was a bit stuck on there, so I had to kind of pull it out. So as you can see now, it is completely free, it's just tied in from the top. So then you just have to go back up there and take this kind of bracket out that is still supporting it, and then once that's done you just have to unscrew it some more and then pull it out from the bottom. So now that's removed, you put in the new one. It's exactly the same but in reverse, so you push it in there and you kind of turn the bolt. You then feed it under the camber bar and put the brake line back to where it was before. Here you have the two bolts. There's the washers go one on top, one on the bottom to stop the fluid from leaking, and then once you've got that bolt slided in there, you just tie it down just so it's in place. Same thing again, just pull the bracket up, put it into place, and then using the same bolt you can just screw that in there. Again, tie it down, because that's going to be what's stopping it from moving. So now that you've got that tied down, you just have to tighten up this bolt here. Don't tie it too tight because you don't want it to break the threads, and then finally you just put that bracket in there. I think I wasn't able to put it in there at that point. So then you get your 17mm bolt and hold the bottom side, and then you just screw it back up again with the top bolt, and then after that you slide the bracket back in there. So now it's gonna pick up from where I left off, and I will be showing you where all the fluid is, and I'll pick up the commentary from there. The brakes feed into this cylinder here, and these are the 4 I'm pretty sure that these are the 4 brake lines. So you want to start with the furthest one away, so then it gets rid of that, all the lines down that one, and then you do the next furthest one away. And the way that works out is that one there, and then the back on the right side, left side, right side. So what you're going to need. You're going to need some pipe that fits around this nipple right here, like that. Don't forget to put that cap back on, but I'm just showing you now. And you're also going to need something to hold some brake fluid in, and the pipe that you are using needs to be long enough to come up off here. I don't know if you can see. Come up off here and then go over and sit into the bottom of this. So we get some brake fluid. Make sure this is clean on the inside because you don't want any crap going in, even though it is just pouring out of this, but for the brake fluid that will come out will pour into here. So you just put some, be generous with it, a pipe that comes off the bleed valve, and then we'll come down to the bottom of this. So about that much. Stick that onto it like that, and then just put that down at the bottom. Make sure the end of it is submerged in the brake fluid. Now, just to show you where exactly that is pinned onto, it is right there. So going all the way down, and inside there it is submerged. So now what you want to do is you want to fill up your brake reservoir, which I will show you in a second. So you want to fill this up so you're at the maximum point, which is right there. There you go. So now you want to keep an eye on this when you're actually bleeding the brake. Yeah, make sure that doesn't fall below the minimum. It's okay if you put it in a bit too much at the moment, because obviously the air is going to come out. So what you want to do is crack the bleed nipple, go into the car, press on the brake a couple of times, go out, check the reservoir, come back, check this, press it a couple of times if need be, and then if not, and then if that's all done, then you tighten up the bleed nipple, and then that's that side done. So as you can see, I've cracked it off here and it can move, and I've just got the pipe over it as well. So now that it's loose, pump it, and then once you finish you just tighten it and then take it off. Take the pipe off. Don't take the pipe off until you have locked it, because it will just come back out and you'll have to start all over again. Also, another thing, you need to make sure that this hose is higher than the bleeder valve, just because the air rises, and then once it gets pulled back the pressure will force it through into the bottom side or the bottom of the can or bottle or whatever you have. So I guess I'm just going to use this wheel to lift it up some more, like that. So now it's time to bleed the brakes. Right, so there's going to be a bit of a time jump. Basically I finished bleeding all the brakes, started up the car and it worked and it was fine, but
my battery died, so I couldn't record the rest of it, so there's not much else really to talk about. It's all working fine. I've driven it up and down, it's all good. But anyway, if you have any questions about what to do, let me know, post it in the comments, and I'll try and help you as much as possible, because I don't know how good the quality is or how good I explained it. But anyway, yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know, and thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.